Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards. Today, I am so honored to have Sid Simone. She's CEO and founder at Sid Simone Solutions, a marketing consulting firm providing event staffing, voice commercials, graphic design, and public relations services. Hi, Sid.
Hi, Dr. Frances. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be with you.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And you know what? I've given a very brief bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience? Tell them about you and your company.
Okay. Well, Sid Simone Staffing started in 2013. And I really started off as a marketing consulting firm, and I transitioned into promotional staffing, and that has been our main focus. So we transitioned also into marketing staff. So promotional and marketing staffing and recruitment across the U.S. is our main. That's like our bread and butter. Obviously, I have some clients that I try to talk to them about branding and help them out. But the goal is for them to use us as their staffing service. What's really different about us is that we train our staff. So I started the company because I was in promotional marketing since 2008, and I learned that there was a void in the market for trained staff. And for people that don't know what promotional marketing or experiential marketing is, if you ever go to a grocery store and there's somebody handing out samples of liquor, wine, food, that's experiential marketing. You go to a festival and there's brand ambassadors. You get to come on over, spend the deal, that type of thing. So oftentimes companies hire a promotional staffing agency, and brand ambassadors just go out. They don't know anything about the brand. They don't know anything about the company. They just know, let me stand up there and hand out samples. So I really am about career advisement and helping people better themselves. So that's really how I started the company, is providing trained brand ambassadors and being able to offer jobs to people that want to work remotely.
And so how did you decide this was the business for you? And what was that aha moment, Sid, that you knew you were going to be successful?
I recently learned that everything that has to do with my business, it's not like I chose it. It literally has chosen me. I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I got into broadcasting. I did broadcasting for 10 years. And 2 days after I graduated from college, I had a meniscus injury. I was housebound, and I started a marketing consulting company, and that transitioned into staffing. So I would say it's not something I selected. It happened to me, and I learned that I wanted to take my promotional marketing skills, because I had been a brand ambassador and a tour manager and all of that throughout college, and I wanted to expound on it. So I took a skill that I had learned literally in college, because that's how I was exposed to it. There was a brand that was handing out some samples on campus, and I asked, what are you doing? And that it parlayed into a job consistently. That's literally how I got to college. My aha moment has been learning the fact that I'm enhancing other people's lives. Whether I'm offering them a job or offering them the flexibility to work from home, that has been my aha moment. I'm good at connecting people with a job.
Well, that is wonderful, because a lot of people are looking for jobs, and so it's great that you have that skill to be the connector for that. So, Sid, how do you define success? What does that look like for you, and how long did it take to manifest in your life?
My success is based off of the people that I enhance. It's based off of the people that I meet, and they come to tell me that I made a difference in their life. It has not been literally a financial success. I don't measure my success based off of numbers and money. Obviously, the goal is to generate an income and be able to be successful. But one thing that I have learned, and put some things into perspective, especially for entrepreneurs, I have met so many other entrepreneurs and business owners that their company has grossed millions of dollars, but the people that own the company are broke. So people have this facade of what they think that success is. Like, oh, well, you own a business, you should be driving, this brand of car, or you should be living this place. No, smart business owners are frugal. They do not spend their money, because I can tell you, I can drive any special car I want, but that does not make, I can live in an expensive place, but that does not make me money. I use my money in investments. So that is how I look at my success. I look at the investments I make in people and enhancing them. It has taken, the period of time it has taken it's consistent. It's ongoing. I don't feel like there's a start and a stop. Every day I meet people, and it just in conversation, they have an aha moment where I'm like, negotiate a better rate, or maybe you could improve your resume. It's always something. The success I've had is the enhancement of other people.
And one of the things that you said, Sid, that is very profound when you talked about successful business owners are very frugal. And what comes to mind is Warren Buffett, and he's worth billions of dollars. And I've read several stories about him, and he still lives in the very same modest house that he has lived in forever, where he could have a 63-room mansion with 73 bathrooms, but that is not where he chooses to put his money. So that's some good advice. Sid, what is a daily or a weekly habit that you do consistently that has given you the greatest success?
There's two main things that I do. One is making time for myself to exercise. I love boxing, and I've been boxing for about 4 years. So every day I go to the boxing gym. I network with people there. That makes me feel good. When I feel good about myself, and especially I look good, I'm a representation of my own company. I cannot have a promotional model company, and I do not look like a promotional model. So I want to make sure that I feel good. I release a lot of stress and anxiety, and then also build confidence, transitioning my body and confidence that when I walk out, I can defend myself in a situation if need be. The second thing I would say that I do consistently is always finding an opportunity to brand myself. So I'm always a salesperson, right? I have no problem with network, but time management, making sure that I'm networking with people that it's going to be a mutual benefit is going to be key. So exercise and time management with networking would be the two main things that I have to do.
What is one valuable lesson, Sid, you wish you knew before starting your business?
Oh, I wish that I had the opportunity to work internally within a staffing agency. That's actually one of the things I recommend to other people that say, "Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur." I tell them, do not leave your job, but don't leave your job, because you need the information at the job that you are in order to build your brand. Now, if you are at a job that does not match your personal business goals, leave it. I've had to tell some students, leave your McDonald's, leave these TJ Maxx, leave those jobs where if you're trying to be an accountant, you need to be in an accountant setting. If you are trying to be some type of project manager with engineering, you need to be working at an engineering firm. Like, your personal goals and your business goals need to match up. So I wish that I had been working internally in some type of staffing agency in order to gain more knowledge on internal mechanisms. However, I started because I was in the field. So my information about executing in the field has actually been what my clients really like about me. Because typically other promotional staff agencies are owned by people that have never even been in the field. They had money, they had support, they knew other people that worked as account managers or brand ambassadors, but they themselves have never executed. And that's one thing that makes us really different.
Very good. What's working well for you now in your business?
Staying a remote business. That is what is working well, because that reduces expenditures. It also puts us in a place where we are different. Not too many businesses are totally remote. There's businesses that offer remote jobs, but they themselves still have an office. They're still spending money on electricity. They're still forcing people to come in to do a job that they could sit at home in their pajamas to do. So that's one thing that I appreciate, because I sit in my car and do work. I sit in my bed. I go to the beach. I go to the library. Wherever I can work is where I can be the most beneficial to myself.
Now, who are your top 2 influencers, Sid, in your life, and what lessons did they teach you?
Okay, my top 2 influencers really would be, they're not even people, but they have been situations that have been the most influential. The point in my life that made a difference for me to even start the business was me having a meniscus injury 2 days after my undergraduate graduation. That situation was a turning point. If I had never fallen and damaged my knee and been homebound, I would have been touring and doing promotional tours, and I would have set out on a totally different venture. I would also say that maybe me being receptive to anything that comes my way has also been influential. My mantra has always been grab every opportunity as if it were a falling snowflake. Opportunities will never come around again. They are all very unique, just like snowflakes. There will never be another snowflake like any other. And by the time that the snowflake hits your hand, it melts. And that's the same way that opportunities are. So I would say being receptive to new information, not saying, oh, I already know that. I've already seen that. Or I've always told my students, I serve as an adjunct professor as well. I've told my students, stop telling people what you've never heard of. Like if I propose a new idea, well, I've never heard of that. Stop that, because you're telling people how unintelligent you are. That sounds ignorant. What you should say is, you know what? I've never heard of that. Tell me more. So me being receptive and that injury have been the main 2 success factors and influences in my life.
Thank you for that. Sid, talk to a younger you. What advice would you give a younger Sid?
Oh, Sydney. In the last month, I have talked to Sid from 10 years ago several times. If I could go back, I would tell her, do not work so hard. And I mean that because I started work. I was on air at 16 years old, literally being an on-air talent, radio, television. I started working. I was going to school full time. I was in college at 16 as well. I had a job, like I was doing retail and restaurant. I mean, I was doing so much. And for all these years, I'm not even 30 yet. All of these years, I've taken on so much. I have like 5 jobs because I wanted experience and I had a passion, and I kept thinking, oh, if I do this project here, that's networking, and that could lead to something, and it could be a mutual benefit. And one thing that I've learned pretty much this year is I need to start investing in myself, because so many people have used me in the past, and it has not benefited me at all. So, younger Sydney, don't take time to be 16, take time to be 18, take time to be 24, and if you do anything, it needs to have your name on it. It needs not to have someone else's business on it, because you will continue to invest and make somebody else's dream come true if you're not making yours happen.
So if I could summarize that, it's live in the moment.
I would say be selective on what you invest your time in, and invest your time into yourself.
Very good. How do you blend your personal life, family life with your business?
Well, my business is experiential marketing. It's an experience, and that means that I have to go out and meet people. And even when I do like training or recruiting events, I make it an experience. Like when I go in, I'm excited because this is my stuff. This is my business, and you're gonna remember me because I'm fun. And guess what? My business is a fun industry. So it's balancing both, because me going out and having client meetings, me going to networking and mixers, that's personal and it's business. Anytime that I live in a new city or I travel, I learn about the market, I learn about the people. That's business and pleasure. So subconsciously, I'm mixing the 2.
Nice. So what is a technology tool or a technology platform that is a must-have for you in managing your business day to day?
I must have an applicant tracking system, because that's how we manage anybody that applies to a job. It's also called it's ATS. So anytime that somebody applies for a job on any website, you are submitting your application into an ATS program, and there's so many of them out there. I use two different platforms. One of is for traditional staff, and the other one is for event staff. So we need to schedule them. They need to have a calendar, things like that. Email is key for me because I'm always on my phone. I have to be mobile. I would also say that some type of sales, I have to have a CRM system, which is customer relationship management, and it needs to be effective. The one that I'm implementing now, I've been testing it for a while. It has an ATS platform and a CRM platform. It has an accounting platform. They literally have, this company has 10 different platforms all underneath the same umbrella. It makes it really effective because if I'm putting in a client, say for instance, if you are my client, Dr. Francis, and I have you into my CRM system, you say, you know what, I'm hosting an event. I'd like 2 brand ambassadors to show up to my event. I'm going to go to my ATS system and pull staff from that ATS system. So our account is going to match up with an account I create in ATS. That helps with time management and it makes things very effective. So my 3 technologies would be email, a very great CRM system, and an ATS system.
Now let's talk about risk or failure. What is the worst moment in business and what was your takeaway?
It was a Fortune 500 company that I worked with. They had the volume that we needed. That was a great account. Loved it, right? However, I learned with working with a company that size, they initially told me that it would be 120-day net pay. So I'm thinking, okay, 120 days, I can wing that. But they didn't tell me it would take me 2 months to get into the system. And then it would take another month for you to verify my invoices. And if the account manager felt like there was a discrepancy in the invoice, they send it back. So that's another 1 or 2 weeks. So that really delayed me getting my money. For that particular account, I waited almost a year to get my money. At this point, I have paid staff, obviously, in the first 30 days. I have bought product, by the way, for this client. So not only am I looking to get my money back, my literal money, but also be paid. So I'm looking for reimbursement and payment from them. That is the greatest, and I learned it earlier on, but it was a mistake, not on my behalf, but it was a mistake. I learned from it. And so now the way I've changed is that if you can't pay us within 5 days, we can't do business. That's what I learned.
Now, is that 5 days from when you do the event, or is it 5 days prior to the event?
Depending on the contract, so we have 2. That's another thing I learned too. I downsized where we have 2 options for contracts. It's the standard and a premium. Either you pay us up front or you pay us on the back end. If you pay us on the back end, it's like a premium, and that means that we do a little bit more, but that means also that you're going to spend several thousand with us for the year. So you're telling us, okay, we're going to spend X, Y, and Z with you for the whole year. So I can say, okay, you can pay us on the back end, but if you plan to have 1 or 2 events, then you need to pay us up front. So it's pretty much 5 days from the invoice date.
Good information. Talk to the person in our audience, Sid, that they want to start a business, they work a full-time job, they're fearful. What advice would you offer them?
Don't leave your job until you have a full business plan. Don't leave your job unless you have a full business plan that's going to go directly into your business. Leave your job if your job does not match up with your entrepreneurial endeavors. Those are the two best things. So if you plan to leave your job, be realistic on what being an entrepreneur looks like. You need to have a budget set up for the first year, at least. Technically, you should have a 5-year plan. Where's the money going to come from? How you're going to function? Who else is going to be a part of that endeavor? It needs to be very realistic. Most people, they just kind of go out and say, well, I'm going to start like a food truck business, right? You need to figure out what is the market. Is there a demand for another food truck? Be realistic. And what type of food truck are you investing in? Because I think I've seen enough tamales and burritos. I've seen enough, are you doing something different? Is it a demand? How are you going to differentiate yourself? How are you going to pay for it? So those are some suggestions I would have. For me, what I did is I learned that I wanted to have very low expenditures. So that means there's no office staff, they're independent contractors. That there's no, we're not paying salaries. There's things like that I looked at, okay, I don't want to be responsible for that. That's not quite in the budget that I have in my head. And that doesn't differentiate me from the other staffing agencies.
What can we do? And what role and responsibility, Sid, do you think that you have, you and your company, to ignite, to build more Black entrepreneurs in our community?
One thing is that we all know about the African American community, unfortunately, is that we do not support each other financially and emotionally and economically. Like, there's so many different levels that we do not support each other. And I really feel like my job is to network with other businesses, other Black businesses, other Black women businesses, because I hate to say it, but we are our worst enemies sometimes. And I have found more Black women that have sabotaged me instead of trying to help me. So my job is anytime that I see another sister and she's trying to do something and I see that we're like-minded, instead of saying, you know what, that's competition, I say, let me help you. What can we do to help each other? Because I've always felt like integration and the white flight, all of that has really damaged the Black community quite a bit, where we, as African Americans, we now could shop at white establishments. We stop shopping at our own ways. We stop shopping in our own communities. We need to look for ways for us to come together. If there's a Black lawyer, go to him, because there are going to be people that don't go to him because he's Black. For me personally, I've looked for before I moved here, my gynecologist was a Black woman. My chiropractor was a Black man. My physical therapist was a Black man. Like, these are all by coincidence. It was not by choice. But these were the most qualified people I found in the Houston, Texas area, and loved them. I received superior service, and I just feel like that's my job, is to support us, because there's going to be funding and opportunities that we don't get because of who we are.
Very good. What book would you recommend and why?
I've been reading so many lately. I can't specify. I don't want to be an advocate of one specific book. My suggestion would be to find books that are based on what you're looking for as an entrepreneur, something that's going to enhance you, and also something that you technically would never read. So go outside of your box. Like, if you're not a sci-fi person, read something that is sci-fi, because I'm not a sci-fi person, but it's like I force myself into it. And oftentimes, I've learned from different mechanisms, maybe different phrases or concepts. I'm like, oh man, if I only read what I wanted to read, I never would have heard of that, right? So it would be read something that's specifically for what you want to encourage yourself, but then also look for something that you totally would not read. Even focus on something historical. Like, one of the books, every time I go to the library, I get 3 different types of books. I get one that's historical, one that's, funny to my feel good, and then one that's for business. That would be my suggestion. You get your books in 3s.
So what, Sid, is your end game?
The end game is to grow the business to the point where I no longer have to be a part of it. That could be a success factor. I feel like a great business can function without the CEO or founder. Like, someone where I know I founded a company, but I don't always want to be hands-on. There are some business owners that are obsessed. I actually worked for one recently, obsessed with having his hands on everything. like he micromanaged. It would turn people off. And I feel like the business would be better if he had taken a step back and just be a stakeholder or just be on the board of directors of some sort. But you don't have to be the founder and CEO and your VP of administration and this and that. So my end goal is to get to the point where I can hire people that understand my objective, they understand and execute what I'm looking to do as a business, which is to be a pioneer in the promotional staffing industry, provide trained people, offer jobs to people that are physically challenged, offer career advancement, really enhancing people. So that would be the end goal for me.
If you conducted this interview, Sid, what is the one question that you wish I would have asked you? And I want you to answer that.
One question that I wish you would ask. I don't know, my favorite question was the one, what would I ask you? How has me being a young woman, a young African-American, an educated African-American woman, how has that influenced me being in business, and how has that influenced people being receptive to answer that question? It's been a struggle. I'm keeping it real. One thing is that as women, sometimes people don't take it seriously owning businesses. And statistically, women make better managers than men. And I've been out with, in the past, my significant other. We go out to networking events, and they assume that he's the one that owns the business, and he'll have to correct them, like, no, she's the one. I don't even know anything about business. It's her. And then, they take a step back, like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, let me shake your hand. It's like I was ornamental, and I was an accessory, and I was not valuable. You didn't see me until a man pointed me out. So that has been a struggle. And despite people saying, oh, well, there's so many funding opportunities for minority businesses and things like that, people forget that, like, as a small business, you have to have certifications. Those certifications cost. So it pays to be the boss. It pays, it costs. It pays and it costs to be the boss.
Right.
And in order for you to even start doing business with these companies that want to do business with small businesses or minority businesses, you have to be able to afford all of those certifications. So put that into your budget if you plan to be an entrepreneur. Those things aren't cheap. They're $400, $250, $400, $1,000 a pop. So the funding and all of these opportunities that are supposed to be complimentary, quote unquote, I have not been able to take advantage of. So I'm doing a lot of what I'm doing organically and off the grace of God.
That's real. That's real. Share with our audience a parting piece of advice you want to offer them, Sid.
Invest your time wisely. I've had to learn recently that you cannot take every meeting. Every meeting is not important. It just sounds important. So I hear people say, oh, I have a meeting with X, Y, and Z. I have a meeting with a client. I'm sorry. If I don't walk away from that meeting with a contract signed and some money in my hand, it was a waste. I only meet with person that I am sure that they can afford my service. I qualify clients before I even meet them. And the most lucrative clients that I have had, we've never even met in person. We talk on the phone, send emails, and we haven't even Skyped. So time management, stop having meetings if you are not sure that you're going to walk away with some money. And this day and age, everything is electronic. So I have everything, all my contracts are electronic. You can email, we can Skype, and that'll be it.
That's good. Sid, we've come to the part of our interview where it's called Fun Facts. It's the lightning round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I want very quick answers. And if it's something that you don't have an answer or you choose not to answer, you have the ability to say, I pass, okay? Are you ready for Fun Facts?
I'm ready. Let's hit it.
All right, Sid, the last movie you saw?
I'm embarrassed to say this, but I think it was Power Rangers or Fist Fight.
You relax doing what?
Boxing.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
I love Erykah Badu, T.I., and Miranda Lambert.
And your favorite dance song?
It's I jam this song. It's an inspirational song. It's like Natasha Bedingfield. I can't think of the name. Shoot. Okay, we'll say this. My favorite dance song is anything that's Latin infused because I love Latin music.
I love Latin music. And your favorite month?
June, my birthday, Gemini.
And what food you eat every week, no matter what?
Tofu. I'm vegetarian for 20 years.
Very good. You know, Sid, it has been just so wonderful to connect with you. I thank you so much. Can you share with the audience what is the best way for our audience to connect with you?
I'd love for people to connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, on Twitter. Everything is Sid Simone Incorporated, so they can find us, join our Facebook page at Sid Simone Staffing. They can find us on LinkedIn. Our page is Sid Simone. Visit sidsimone.com. It's the same Twitter handle. I make it very simple. It's a great branding mechanism. And then as we expand, there will be other opportunities for just any type of vendor to really network with us. So if they are looking to do business with us, there's a link on my website that says become a vendor. And that's the best way. Don't email me. You click that link, you're on a mailing list, and if we need your service, then we'll reach out to you.
Sid, thank you so much. That's a wrap. You've heard it on Black Entrepreneur Experience. Miss Sid Simone. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.